keeping up with our motto, let learning be a joy and teaching a pleasure. Here we are with the remote teaching and learning process to bridge the gap. Happy learning, students.
Hello students, I, Mr. AMEY JAGTAP, art teacher in Thakur Vidya Mandir High School and Junior College. Today, I am going to explain you Still Life Part 2 Coloring for Intermediate Grade Exam Standard 8, 9th and 10th. In this, I am going to explain you about shade and light and coloring. Students, before we start with the actual coloring, let's understand what is shade and light. Student, if you see right side image of a round object, light is falling on it from the top cross angle. The area of the form that faces the light source and receive the most direct light is called light area. The area where light is not able to reach is called core shadow or dark area. It is opposite of light. In between light and dark, there is middle tone or half tone. It's a gradation between direct light and the core shadow. Highlight. Highlight is the lightest area on the form because it is perpendicular to the light source. This is why the highlight should be the last element that you concern yourself with in your drawing. Reflected light. Reflected light means light reflected by object, surface where object is resting or background. The cast shadow. Cast shadow is the shadow on the surface that the object rests on it. It is created by the object itself blocking the light from the light source. Students, do you remember the last video in which I explained you about still life drawing? This is the same drawing from that video which I converted into a color drawing. Students, this process is optional. Student, let's start with the coloring. Student, if you see in this picture, I started with the main object. Student, light is coming from the left side. Students, if you see bucket, I use light, middle and dark blue. In the middle and dark tone, I use red, crimson, green and violet. For the bottle guard, I use light, medium and dark green along with the yellow, chrome yellow, red and olive green. I use dark blue for some of the areas to give darker effect. For the mug, I use light, middle and dark blue. I use very dark blue in the inside part of the mug. Student, it is very important when you color, your objects look natural. For that, you have to use different colors to make it more natural. The more you observe, you will find different colors in your still life. Students, there is no any fixed theory for coloring. It is depends on how detailed you observe the still life. The more you observe, the more you find the colors. Student, when you use different colors, mix it properly and use it carefully. Student, in this picture, I started with the main drapery, which is coming out from the bucket. I use pink color for the base color. Student, in this picture, I added detail on drapery. I use middle dark tone for the detailing. I use red, crimson, violet, blue for it. After that, I started work on plate and fruit. I use yellow, chrome yellow, yellow ochre, brown, red, orange for the fruit, as well as I use light dark green for the fruit skin. For the plate, I use blue and violet. For the shadow of the plate, I use blue and crimson red. Student, in this picture, I started work on foreground drapery. I use orange for the base color. I use red, crimson, violet and blue for the middle and dark tone. Students, you have to be very careful when you work on the fold. It should look three-dimensional. Student, in this picture, I added background first. For the background, I use red, crimson and blue for the dark, middle and light tone. Student, after you work on each and every object, again recheck your drawing. See if anything is missing. For example, highlight, light, middle, dark tone, reflected light. If you think it is missing, add it. Check the shadows of all the objects. If it is missing, add it. Add required detail on each and every object. For example, lines on bucket, detailing on each and every vegetable and fruit. Work on folds if they are looking flat, add middle dark tone. And complete the picture properly. Students, when you do still life, observation is very important. More you observe, more details you will find in still life. And when you add it in your still life, your drawing will look complete. For roundness of each object, light, middle and dark tone is very important. Add highlight and shadow at the end. Students, when you learn something new, be very slow. I hope you understand and enjoy this video. Thank you for watching.